everyone! In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review and swatches on the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Eyeshadow Palette. So if you'd like to hear what I have to say about this palette, then please continue to watch. Alright, so I know it's been a while, guys. Just life. I don't really have an excuse. I've just been kind of busy with work. I started a new job, so I've been kind of all over the place, like, you know, in training, doing some other stuff. And so yeah, I haven't really had a chance to get on here and film, but I'm back and I wanted to do a review on this palette right here. It is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Eyeshadow Palette. So this is what the packaging looks like. It comes in this box right here, and then the eyeshadow palette itself is cardboard, but as you can see, the eyeshadow on the eyes and the kind of like crystals that she has on shine, so that's kind of cool. And the word beauty itself is like gold, and it's like you can feel it, it's raised writing, which is a really nice touch. When you open up the actual palette, you get this little protective plastic sheet that covers the eyeshadows like that, and I think this is super innovative and really cute and interesting. It's like her eyes, which is the same as the outside of the palette, and I think that's really cute, so kudos to her for thinking of that. The eyeshadows themselves look like this. It's very beautiful, it's nice and warm, but it has some really nice purpley shades like amethyst and twilight and royal retrograde, so I think it has some interesting finishes in here. The palette retails for $85, which is so expensive, but I do think that you get a good selection of colors. I do think that this palette could have been a little bit cheaper, but I do actually like it. So you get in this eyeshadow palette, you get 8 matte shades, you get 6 pressed pearls, 3 duochrome toppers, and 1 glitter, and the glitter is this one right here, which is the shade Cosmo down here. Now, I will say that I wish she had included a warm brown in the palette, because this shade here, which is the shade Musk, I find to be extremely cool tone on my skin tone. It looks almost like a gray brown, which I don't like. So just something to keep in mind if you do decide to purchase this palette, is that this shade on my skin tone, which is around an NC35, is quite gray. This color Eden is a really nice transition shade. However, I use it in this eyeshadow look right here. I do feel like it's, for me, not neutral enough. Like, this is a little bit too warm, and then this one's a little bit too cold. So I wish she had included something that was kind of like in the middle, but I have tried mixing these together and it works all right, but I'd rather use my own transition shade. So the duochrome shades in this palette, if you look at the palette like that, are Twilight, Retrograde, and Celestial. So those three, 1, 2, 3. The pressed pearls are Blood Moon, Nefertiti, Royal, Cashmere, Angelic, and Turkish Delight on the bottom row there. And then the mattes are the rest of the shades. I'm not going to go through all of them because I do plan on doing swatches. So what do I have to say about this palette? I do really like the shade selection. I think the colors are really beautiful, and they encourage me to kind of step out of my neutral comfort zone. Like, I created this eyeshadow look, which I do have a tutorial on, and I'm going to be posting that after this video. So definitely inspired me to step out of my comfort zone and use like these little purpley shades, which I think are so stunningly beautiful. I use this color Royal on my lid for this look, and I just think it blended really beautifully. The one downside to these eyeshadows, especially like the shimmery ones, is that you have to use your finger. Like, I tried it with my favorite brush for applying eyeshadow, like shimmery eyeshadows, which is the MAC 242, and it didn't work. It kind of just lifted off whatever color I had packed on earlier, so that kind of sucks. But other than that, I really do like the shade selection, and I like that it kind of like is a different palette. It still has warm tones, which is within my comfort zone, but then it helps me kind of be a little more creative and think a little bit outside the box when using this palette. I do think it could use a shimmery brow bone highlight, and I think it could also use a cream eyeshadow. Desert Sand works on my skin tone, but if you're lighter than me, I don't think it'll work. And I do also think that it needs a nice right in the middle neutral transition shade. So I'm gonna move on to the swatches next. Really like this palette. I absolutely love the shade selection. I just think it's genius. I think the palette itself is very, very beautiful, and I think it's definitely cohesive. Aside from those few down points, including the fact that the palette costs an arm and a leg, I really enjoy this palette and would recommend it. Again, you know, you can definitely get a lot of looks out of this palette. It's very versatile, but I would say that I had a pretty hard time trying to create wearable daytime looks with this palette. If I played around with the palette a little bit longer, I would be able to come up with some looks, but that's one downside to the palette. But I have so many palettes to use for, you know, daytime wearable neutral looks, so it's nice to have something like this that, you know, helps me be a little more creative, think of some nice, you know, going out looks, some nighttime looks, and I just think this palette just looks beautiful. I've used it for around 2 weeks now, so I have a pretty solid understanding of what I like and what I don't like about this palette. So if you have any questions, please do leave it in the comment section down below. I'd love to answer whatever questions or queries you may have. And again, do I recommend this palette? Yes. Do I think it's overpriced? Absolutely. I definitely think the palette could be priced around like the $60 range, and you know, I think that would be a much more fair price. The palette is made in Italy, so I don't know if that's the reason for the hike. I mean, it is Huda Beauty, so her products tend to be a little more pricey than other brands at Sephora. So I really enjoy this palette. I would definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you want to be notified of all my videos, you can click on the notification bell and it will tell you when I post the video. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!